Okay, so we finished up with LinkedIn. And with LinkedIn, I'm finding a lot of clients were using it if they want help with recruiting. We're seeing a lot of hospitals and stuff that are using it to find nurses and doctors and stuff like that. The next one is, this is a basic channel, but it's an important one. This is Foursquare and Swarm. And these are what's called location-based marketing services. They are, it's an app you have on your phone that you can download that when you end up at a location like a business, you can check into the place. And if you're the person who checks in the most in a 30-day period, you could become the mayor of the place. So, like for example, here in Nashville, I'm the mayor of a couple of the different honky-tonks here because I'm probably the only person that checks in. But what it's used to do for businesses is they could, knowing that you're in their location, they can offer you specials. You can write reviews. You can do comments. So if I've checked into some restaurants and if you check in, they say, oh, there's a free appetizer just for checking in. Or if you're the mayor, maybe you get a special prize. So it's about a 6-year-old app. As you can see here, 8 billion check-ins over all time. There's 65 million venues that have been put into Foursquare. And some businesses might not have even heard about it, but once you show it to them, you'll see there's reviews on their business. You can offer tips on their business. And more importantly, the big database of the 8 billion check-ins and the 55 million monthly active users is used to power a lot of things. So the Siri app on the iPhone is powered by Foursquare. The Hilton Hotels app is powered by Foursquare. So it's a great database for local information, which is why it's important for the client, your client, to have their profile set up correctly, to make sure the address is correct, and to monitor it to see what the reviews are. So 100,000 developers rely on that data. That's the real power of Foursquare. There's not much we can do as far as publishing content. It really is just monitoring it and making sure that if we see a bad review, we're responding to it and making sure that the business information is accurate as far as the hours and things like that. So we will build out a business page for the business. We'll make sure everything's accurate on it, especially the phone number, because people can dial from the Foursquare app, and the map because people can find it. So if I were using Foursquare, like when I was in Greenwood last week, I pulled up Foursquare and looked for restaurants near me. And that's, showed me restaurants, showed me reviews. It's kind of similar to Yelp in that respect. Businesses that work well with Foursquare, obviously restaurants, local stores, retail, hospitality because of the database. We will claim and optimize it. We will make sure that the profile page looks good. We will post specials on the page if they want to do that. So coupons, things like that. We can run ad campaigns so that we could target people who are around a certain business. And that's Foursquare. Yelp is fairly similar, except it's generally more focused on restaurant-type businesses. But it's got 145 million active users, 2.8 businesses claimed. So if you compare that to the 55 million, I think it was on here, or no, yeah, 65 million on Foursquare, just to show comparison's sake for Yelp, 2.8 million claimed. And by claim, that means the business has claimed their business. They've put their own information in. Yelp has a lot of businesses, but they buy business databases from different sources. So it may not, the business itself may not have claimed their page. There's over 100 million reviews. 200 people call businesses through the Yelp mobile app. Again, that's why it's important that things are accurate. And then 98% of users make a purchase at a business they found on Yelp. And by that, I think it's obvious if you're looking for a restaurant, you tend to go to Yelp, and then you're going to go to that business based on the reviews. It's huge with restaurants, nightclubs, and we're starting to see more service business like automotive dealers, auto service, cleaning people, things like that. We will fix the profile if it hasn't been claimed. We will make sure it's linked to other services like their Facebook page, OpenTable, restaurant reservations, that's an important one. And then we'll make sure the photos look nice, especially with Yelp, whether it's restaurants with food photos and things. We want to make sure those look appetizing. As far as management of it, this is all about reviews, and we will monitor them. If there's negative reviews, you can't get them removed, but we can try to solicit positive reviews, or at least we can respond to that negative review. we will create ad campaigns. And sometimes that means that when we create a campaign, we actually can, sometimes competitors' ads show up on people's Yelp pages if they're not a paid advertiser. So we will look into that. You can have more slideshows. You can add video. So there's paid strategies with Yelp as well as organic strategies. House, and I'm rolling through these fairly quickly. These are the basic channels. A lot of them are very specific to categories. House is a home improvement / real estate category. 90% of the users are homeowners. 72% are 25 to 54. And there's 800,000 home remodeling professionals on the platform. So if you've got someone who's a home improvement or a contractor or a landscaper or something like that, this is a great platform for them to be on, because this is where people are searching for these reviews. Also, if you've got a furniture store or someone who's in the retail business selling to homeowners, there's a lot of e-commerce going on House. No surprise here as far as what businesses work well with House. We'll set up, and a lot of these are similar setups. We make sure that we pick the right category. That's important. Put in a lot of keywords in the business description. Make sure there's a profile photo, and then make sure the info is correct. And it's also, a lot of times, the phone is the only way some of these home improvement people work. They don't, have people visiting them in their house or anything. So that's important to have that correct. And then we'll build out profile pages with photos. A lot of these are before and after photos of home improvement, remodeling projects. Managing it, photos are key with House. That people really want to see what the work is. If the guy's a cabinet maker, they want to look at pictures of his cabinets. We will reach out to people to request reviews. We'll respond to reviews. We can affiliate with other professionals, or like if I'm a general contractor, maybe I want to affiliate with some of the subcontractors. And then
now, House is not an e-commerce site; it's just a directory site, right?
Well, actually, I think, and let me take a look. Now, I think there is ways that if you're selling products, it can be linked off the House platform. Let me just take a quick look. I may have to do it off the app, in which case I'll have to research later. Let's see. No, it's actually you can shop. So if I go to shop, yes, you can buy.
Okay, so if you click on that to buy, does it take you to the site of that Savoy House Lighting? Is that what it says?
Actually, yeah. It looks like they're hosting it. So this is I'm still in the House platform.
Oh, wow.
I could save it to an idea book. Okay, here it is, seller and shipping information. It's from 1-800-Lighting. So, okay, yeah, so I could buy from other sellers. So if I click on this button, okay, let's see what the checkout process is. Yeah, so if you've got someone who's got products, it wants me to log in. Let's see if I can do it easily here. Yeah, so this is as easy as it is. So I'm logging in with my Google account. Yeah, so you can order right off the site.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. TripAdvisor. Big in the hospitality industry. It's all about reviews again and traveler photos. 50% of the users are mobile. That's important. And the majority of the reviews are positive. So hopefully, if we're dealing with a hospitality or tourism client, we want to make sure that they're always out soliciting reviews, because, again, the more positive reviews we have, the better it is if there's a negative review, so that they, you can see the whole holistic view of the business. Again, no real surprises here, but if you've got some tourism things for attractions, this might be a good channel for us to help them with. Most of these businesses, I think, have heard of TripAdvisor at this point, so I don't know how much cleaning we'll have to do for businesses, but it really is about improving the profile, making sure everything's linked back to their website. Again, that's important, especially if they're doing bookings off their website.
Do TripAdvisor and Houzz, can you target like you can with some of those other ones?
Yes, you can. There is some paid strategies. A lot of times the paid strategies on these are improvements to the profile itself. So if you wanted to have more than a certain amount of photos, then you pay into that. But there is ways we can do ad campaigns. I think most of what we haven't done a lot of them, to be honest, because I think we're finding better ways to target even tourism accounts through Facebook.
Okay.
We will, again, it's similar to everything else. We'll respond to reviews. You can be ranked in TripAdvisor as far as, the top 10 destinations or top 10 attractions in a place. So a lot of what we try to do is try to bump those up. It's almost like a form of SEO where you're trying to show up higher in the rankings. And then we'll make sure, again, all of this is we want to make sure everything's integrated, so we make sure that the website's integrated with TripAdvisor and vice versa. So those are all the social media channels. The next section we're going to go through is the other products we have to sell. So we like leading with the social media management products because for a couple of reasons. One, that's what we specialize in, and that's what we've got the employees to do. We're doing the work ourselves, so therefore it's higher profit margins all around for everybody, and we're real good at doing that. But we also have some partners and clients that have a need for other products, and that's why this whole section is the other digital marketing products we have. We'll start with search. Two types of search. There's SEO, which is search engine optimization, which is the changing of people's websites and helping them so they show up better down here in the lower left section of organic results. And there's search engine marketing, which is the top section in the right-hand side section. That's buying Google AdWords and other techniques to try to show up higher in search. Search engine marketing is on a pay-per-click basis. So when you're advertising on Google with Google AdWords, every time someone clicks on your ad, you get charged. So that can be good and that can be bad. It depends on how competitive your category is, how competitive your keywords are. If you're in a real competitive category like legal or automotive or things like that, you could be paying $10 a click, $20 a click. But if it's a bigger ticket item like $1 million lawsuit, that might make it worthwhile to pay $75 a click if you can get that client. Search engine optimization is, like I said, what we can do to help a website with keywords, with structure to make sure Google sees it better. And Google tells us, there's the webmaster tools for Google giving us their rules and suggestions for how to make our websites look better. With SEM, it puts everyone on equal ground as far as the more money anyone can spend, whatever amount of money they want. So it's not necessarily with SEO. Sometimes it may take time. It may take months to get higher in SEO just because of the way Google works. With SEM, you could, if you want to spend a lot of money and rank up higher, you can spend a lot of money. Also with SEM, the client's in control of the message so that they can craft things and keywords, and there's a lot more control than they are with SEO, where it really is you've got to play by Google's rules. SEM will also lead to better traffic on your own website because it's all based on how much traffic goes to your website, which if I see a search ad, even if I don't click on it, there's a good chance I might later on go back to the website. And that's actually, I just said that. So, basically with SEM, it can help you by building traffic back to your own website, which will help you with SEO. So for SEM, which is mostly Google AdWords, we will research what keywords we think are best for you to buy. And by that, we'll look at sometimes within websites, your website traffic reports, it'll tell you what people have typed in to get to your website. And those are probably a good place for us to start with keywords. We also have a couple different tools to help find what the best keywords are. And actually, let me show an example of that. I think I've got one here. think this is what I'm looking for. We'll see in a second. Yep. So this is a client of ours that has bought SEM. So we're seeing where these certain keywords, and let me blow this up a little bit here. So this is the mautoranch.com. So auto ranch is a keyword. Dodge trucks, Twin Falls, this is in Idaho. Ford dealerships, Boise. These are all the keywords that they're seeing how they rank on. And this is where we would probably try to buy these keywords on Google, because obviously they're showing up well with these main search engines. And I'll be real honest, SEM is a difficult product to sell just because no one really fully understands how Google works. And we see a lot of clients that'll start out with SEM and they'll get frustrated after a few months because it does tend to be expensive and it's harder to track things as far as how it's working or how it's not working. So if you come across a client that wants to buy AdWords, I would loop me in and I'll try to help with that, because it is a more complex sale than selling the management of social media. Because you can see here how expensive this could get if they try to buy all of these keywords in Google. That's looks like 20 different keywords they could buy. And probably the best ones I would recommend would be buying Auto Ranch, because that seems, they're showing up highest with that versus some of the other ones. They're not even showing up at all, for example, with Silverado 2500. So that's how we would start with a search engine marketing campaign. So we'll set up the campaign with multiple ads, we'll target multiple keywords, and we'll drive traffic to either their website, or sometimes we'll build out a separate landing page. And what a landing page is just a single web page with a single purpose. So if it were an event, we would build a landing page just for that event if we were selling tickets, and we would drive all the traffic from this SEM campaign to the website to buy tickets. So that's a landing page, and that's something we can build for a client. Or if they wanted to go to their website, we can do that easily. And then we will managing it and ongoing management is important with Google AdWords, because we're running off a budget. So if the client says, I want to spend $500 a month, we're trying to manage that to make sure that we're putting that money towards the best performing keywords. We will make sure the ads are working well. We may tweak the ads a little bit. We may tweak the targets. So that's what clients are, they're paying for, and there is a management fee for that. I'm looking for it right now here. Pardon me while I shift through papers here. So with SEM, there is a setup fee. So there's a $250 setup fee for us to set up a campaign, and then it's a retail price. It's a 30% management fee. So for example, if someone wanted to spend $1,000 on a Google AdWords campaign, the first time when we set it up, it would be $250, set it up. So that means now they're down to $750. And then we would add 30% on top of the ad spend. So if we spent $100, technically the client's paying $130, because we're doing a 30% management fee, and that's to manage all the keywords. So just if you're selling an SEM campaign, those, I would say it probably doesn't make sense if it's less than $500, because again, $250 will be set just to set the thing up, because it is a complex process, but we will do it right. We'll research the keywords. We'll make sure that we're geographically targeting things properly. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, but once it's set up correctly, then they can just spend as much as they want against that target and see what kind of reaction they get. They'll know off the bat, because obviously when someone clicks, this is instant response, and they can track where it comes from. So if you've got clients that want to buy AdWords, then that's definitely loop me in, and I'll help with that. Because even I have trouble explaining it, and I always have to call up to my folks to get we've got experts at it that are good at it. Social media campaigns on a pay-per-click basis, this is a lot easier. This is Facebook ads, Twitter ads, and we've talked a little bit about it. And this is a $100 setup fee, and again, a 30% management of it. And we can target whatever they want to target, and we will make sure that we're monitoring it. And so that's what that 30% fee is the management of the campaign, which, even though it looked really easy when I was, trying to buy a $5 campaign to boost a Facebook post, that's easy. But if you get someone who's got a complex thing that needs to target multiple audiences or, monitor certain things, that's where that management fee comes in. So generally, if I recommend a client for Facebook pay-per-click campaigns, I would recommend at least $200 to $300 a month on an ongoing basis. So we'd set it up for $100, and then that setup fee is for the target and for setting up the ad, and then after that, there's no more setup fee as long as we don't change the target audience. And I think social media ads, people seem to understand that better than Google AdWords because more people are familiar with Facebook than they are with how Google works. And again, here's all the ones we can do with pay-per-click. We can do Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. So that's the other type of ad campaign we can run. So we can run SEM on Google, and we can run social media campaigns on the social media channels. We will help write blogs for people, and a blog is kind of like a diary on a website. And I think it's an effective thing for SEO because it provides content on a website, and Google likes seeing new content. So like I said, it boosts your SEO. With blogs, you can share blogs on your Facebook page. You can email blogs to people. So there's a lot you can do with that content because once we've written it, we can post it on different platforms. Blogging is a way to, it expands what people know about the business, how they learn about the business. Again, it's a publishing thing. You're publishing, so you might be seen as an expert in the field if you're writing good blog posts or if we're writing them for you. And again, it's all about sharing content on these social media channels. So if someone likes a certain blog entry, they may share it on their own Facebook page. They may share it on their own blog. They may post it on Pinterest. So it's just really great content to get out there about a business. The way we manage blogs is right now we've got two plans. We've got Plan A and Plan B, which basically it's how many blog posts we are writing per month. And I'm going back to my rate card here. So for us to set up a blog, if the client doesn't have a blog set up on their website, we will set them up, and that's a cost of $400 to set up the blog. And then Plan A, which is 2 posts per month, is $299 a month. And for 4 posts a month, it's $499 a month. So basically, it's $100 per post, or actually $150 per post. And so those are our two main plans, and that's what most of the clients are. If someone really needs us to write every day, that'll be a custom quote, or more than once a week. But generally, a lot of our clients, just 2 posts a month is enough for most businesses as far as blog posting. And we make sure we write it with keywords in it. We make sure it's, we're trying to boost website traffic. We're trying to boost SEO. So we're writing these blogs with a purpose. And we also have a variety of different content sources we're drawing from, and the client will sign off on it before we publish it. So that's blog management. Display advertising. We didn't talk a lot about this when I was in Greenwood, but we have ways to run banner ads and target audiences just like we do on Facebook, but we're running these banner ads on websites. And sometimes it's called reach extension because we're extending the reach of your own Index Journal website. And these are some of the tactics we can use. So at the very basic, with extended reach, run of network is what RON stands for. We can spread a client's banner ad across websites by a lot of different targeting. So we could target it by geography. So if they just wanted to run it on websites for people that are within 10 miles of their business, sometimes they call that geo-targeting or geo-fencing. We also could geo-fence a business. So like I have a client in Connecticut right now that is trying to get a car dealer to sign on with their agency. So they're actually running ads that are geo-fenced just to that car dealership. And that's how tight we can go on this. So their hope is that the owner of the business, as they surf the web in their business throughout the day, will see the ads for this ad agency. And that's what they're trying to do. Or sometimes I have people that use it as a tactic, as a competitive tactic, where I had a shopping mall in Pennsylvania that wanted to target people in the competitive mall. So this particular mall had an Abercrombie & Fitch store. The other mall did not. So they targeted the other mall with banner ads that said, hey, if you're looking for Abercrombie & Fitch, the mall at Steamtown has it. We're only 10 minutes away. So they geofence just the mall, their competitor mall. We could target based on a category. So if you just wanted to run, if you were a snow, I don't know if you guys have snowblower dealerships, but in the Northeast we have snowblower dealerships. If you just wanted to target weather websites, we could target weather websites. We can target based on device. If you just wanted to reach mobile people, if you, another tactic is retargeting. And what retargeting is we put a special piece of code on your client's website that anyone who visits the website will get tagged, and then the client's ad will follow them around the internet. They call that retargeting, and that's a very effective strategy because the customer has already gone through all the effort to reach the client's website, and then if they didn't buy that day, maybe they meant to buy, but this is sending them a reminder ad. So then they leave the client's website and they go to ESPN.com. What a surprise. They're going to see the client's ad because they've been retargeted. If you've ever bought anything on Amazon, you'll see Amazon ads following you around. That's an example of retargeting. We can target based on topic at a site level or an article level. For example, I've had mattress companies target not just Better Homes and Gardens website, but target just the bedroom section of Better Homes and Gardens. So we could target people who, if a mattress company wants to, we could target the keyword of mattress. If the word mattress shows up in an article, we can target an ad to that specific article. So even if it were on an unrelated website, I'm trying to think of a good example, but I'm not coming up with one. But anyway, anywhere the word mattress shows up, we could serve a mattress store ad just in the geography they want to. Or we could target demographics. So if you wanted to target women 25-54 with children who live in a certain area who own a minivan, we could target that. So it's very similar to how we target on Facebook, except it's across the open internet. And we can target, actually, let me pull up an example here just to show what a report would look like. I've got a client that's a magazine in Denver, and let's see, actually, let's pull up Pittsburgh Magazine. So Pittsburgh Magazine ran an ad campaign of people who live in the Pittsburgh market who were, I think, household income of $100,000 plus. And so they ran an $800 schedule, and these are the types of sites they showed up on. So they showed up on Yahoo, on eBay, on CNN, on New York Times, weather.com. So you can see the variety of sites here. Zillow.
That's cool.
So that's one example. And then if I look at another example, that's Pittsburgh Magazine. Now let's look at Mountain Living Magazine. They were targeting, I think, people who like to hike, who lived in Colorado. You can see here, they're getting KSL. That's actually a local website. That's Salt Lake City, I think. But then you see Fox News on an Android device. So they're hitting mobile people. Utah Real Estate. So this is Mountain Living Magazine. Actually, maybe they targeted all of the Colorado area. But this makes a lot of sense for a Mountain Living Magazine to show up on Realtor.com, Country Living, Do-It-Yourself Network.
And they're paying for that, Tim?
Yep. So they paid $800 for 100,000 impressions, and they ran it over 2 weeks. So this is the report that came back after that. So showed up.
You selected those things for them?
Nope. They selected the audience, and then we run the ads based on the availability on these websites. So the way this works, and you might be doing it on your own website right now, is everyone's got unsold inventory that they sell to ad networks. So we are targeting ad networks based on certain criteria. So in this case, I want to say it was the Denver region, people who own a home who are interested in hiking, I think was what the target was. And it was all to get people to subscribe to Mountain Living Magazine. So it's not the best example because the reason the client did this was that they wanted to test it before they started buying it for their clients. So the next goal, like specifically with Pittsburgh Magazine, they've got a wedding section they sell, and so they're going to target brides in the Pittsburgh market who have a certain income level who are interested in jewelry. And so I know I'm going to get different websites on that. So we're not targeting websites, we're targeting the audience. And, you know, most of this makes a lot of sense. I'm seeing a lot of local websites, tourists, truly a backpacker.com.
And how do you, that audience that you're talking about, that's what I'm saying. Who's determining the audience? Like,
it's based on data collected by these ad networks. So everything you do online is being monitored, and they're
Yeah.
building anonymous profiles of you.
okay.
So and then someone else sells this data to these ad networks, and that's how we're targeting people.
Okay.
And let me just look at one more so Colorado Business, this is their local business magazine. They were targeting business owners in, I think, the Denver metro. So CNN, Fox, so this is a very conservative market. You know, all of these make sense that these are websites that influencers and business owners are on. Look at how many news websites it is. In fact, we may have targeted news websites now that I think of it. So that's how targeted display advertising works. And let me just go back to my slide here, make sure I've covered it. Or if you just wanted to target people on mobile devices, we could do that too. So, you know, that's something there where there is no setup fee on this, and it's the, let me find it here. It's the ad spend plus, actually no, this is a straight cost per thousand. So rate card on this is $8 per thousand. So for example, 100,000 impressions, 100,000 banner ads times an $8 cost per thousand would be $800. And that's the tactic I'm using with these magazine companies, is they're putting together $800 packages and going out and selling it. So if you wanted to go after, especially Jimmy, with what you're selling, you know, if you wanted to figure out who your target audience is, we could probably, you know, two things. We could try to generate leads for you, or you could go out to your clients and say, hey, look, I can sell you a package to hit the audience of people you're trying to reach.
Right.
And, you know, so, you know, maybe you sell it in combination with, you know, banner ads on the Index Journal website, and then we will extend your reach to reach high income or high net worth individuals who own homes in these zip codes. That's how I would put it together. And it's, you know, I think this is something that's easier to sell as a package. So, you know, if you go out and say, you know, let's do an $800 a month package of banner ads, you know, this is advertising. This isn't managing things. You know, this is really just running ads. But they're highly targeted, and they could be real effective for people with certain purposes.
I'd imagine so.
Yep. So actually, this is what I've pretty much talked through. So we'll target audiences. The retargeting also is real effective, but retargeting really works well if they've got a lot of traffic on their website already, because obviously we can't tag them until they go to the client's website. So that's where, you know, I'm always cautious about just selling a retargeting campaign, because if the client only gets 100 page views a month, that's only 100 opportunities to retarget someone. So I'd rather tie in retargeting with another type of audience, like just, you know, I'd buy weather sites and retargeting. Mobile campaigns. This is mobile hyperlocal. That's the geofencing. So if a business wanted to just reach people that were around their business, or like I've had a dentist before. The dentist only wanted to advertise within a 5-mile radius or 10-mile radius of his dental office, because that's where most of his patients come from. So that's another example. Building websites. We will build websites for clients. Our basic package is for $1,200. We will build a 5-page website, which for most businesses, that's enough. It will have, you know, an About Us page, a Contact Us page, content. We make sure that it's responsive. By that, I mean it'll show up great on any device no matter what. It'll automatically adjust itself by size. We use the WordPress platform, which just is it's a very stable website platform. That's what a lot of business websites are built on, WordPress. And, you know, we'll research it. We'll make sure it's optimized for SEO. Then that's very important, and we'll make sure there's good keywords on it. We'll build a really solid 5-page website. And if they need to add pages, that's an additional $150 per page. So, you know, if it gets to be over 11 pages, then we'll custom quote things. Like the gym I was working on yesterday, they want to build a website that might have a back end for franchisees to download documents and things, and that's that's going to be a custom quote because we've got to figure out how to program that. But if it's a basic website, it's $1,200, and we'll build a 5-page website. If someone just needs a mobile website, we can just build them a mobile website for $325, and that's, you know, if the client likes their current website and just wants to be found on mobile, it's not the best practice, but at least this way, you know, they'll be found on mobile devices. We've talked about landing pages. A landing page is just a single web page, a lot of times used just as the destination for an ad campaign. We can add a blog to a website for someone, and then we'll optimize it. We'll do research on keywords. So when we launch a website, we make sure it's launched correctly so that it's using all the best practices for SEO. I think I'm at the end. So this is our action items. We've done a little bit of this right today, but you know, take a list of 5, 10 of your advertisers and go through and look at their websites, look at their social media. You know, if you haven't signed up for Twitter, sign up for Twitter. You know, double check your LinkedIn page. You know, download all these apps. So, you know, all of these are working on the iPhones and Androids, but you know, download the Houzz app, download the Yelp app, download Foursquare. I think the best way to start selling this is by being a user of it, so that you know that way when your client asks you a question, you're familiar with the platform because you've been using it. You know, I'm sure most people are.
I'll do it.
And even like with Twitter, I mean, just sign up for Twitter. You don't have to tweet. You can just start to follow people. And that's it. One thing I will show you while we're here, and Ed, I sent this to you the other day. We've got a back end website. At least it'll have. And this is something, Ed, we might want to talk about. You know, customizing these for the market. And I don't know if you've got your own graphic designer, or our folks will do it for $40 an hour to design these. Let me find them here. These
yeah, I saw the InDesign version.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. So I've got all the elements that, you know, if you've got a designer, they can do it themselves.
Yeah, we're all set with that.
Yeah. So we've got all the raw stuff. And so we've got one sheet for all of these things, and then you can put your pricing on it. Other than that, Jimmy, do you have any questions?
I do not, but I will take action, you know, download the apps and get familiar with Twitter and Pinterest and all this good stuff. So that I can move easily through questions on those. And I assume you are going to email me this material, maybe?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
all right,
might be a link because it's 115 slides, but it'll be a huge file, but I'll send it to you.
Please do.
I have it, Jimmy, so we can get.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I guess, Ed, you have a media kit, I suppose, that kind of goes with this, some stuff I can leave with the client.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about that. You know.
Okay.
And, you know, one of the things that, you know, it's all on how we do this, and I don't think it's the kind of thing to send out email blasts and drop paperwork. We got to get in front of people, okay? And we'll kind of approach them one by one. It's not like a mass marketing thing. So we'll talk about it.
I'm good with that. No, I'm good, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Anything else, Ed?
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you going through that again.
No problem. And yeah, let's connect. I've got jury duty tomorrow, which might bleed into Friday, but I'll be back here, and you know, we should talk, you know, about the clients you've talked about, and then I'll find out if the museum gets back to me today too.
Okay. Send me that other second half too, of what you recorded if it comes up.
Yep. As soon as I stop it,